Welcome to Infidelity Secret. Your support means the world to us. Right now, 90% of our viewers haven't subscribed. So please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so we can keep bringing you powerful stories. And tell us in the comments, where are you watching from? Now, let's begin today's story. The silence in my office wasn't peaceful. It was suffocating, the kind of quiet where your own thoughts roar louder than any sound. Beyond the glass window, the city lay still under a midnight haze. Mine was the only light left on in the building, casting long shadows over paperwork I'd stopped reading hours ago. My heels were kicked off under the desk, and the once crisp white blouse I'd worn was now wrinkled, tired, and lifeless, much like my day, which felt as though it had never truly started. In front of me sat an old photograph, Daniel and me with our children, on a beach in Santa Monica years ago. He had one arm wrapped around my waist, that familiar smirk on his face. I was smiling, holding April, our youngest, while the other two ran laughing along the shore. I remembered that day so clearly. I thought we were a team, a family. I thought I had everything. But memories are liars. They freeze the happy moments, leaving out the quiet, empty years that follow. Our home had slowly turned into a stage. No shouting, no dramatic fights, just a daily performance of pretending. Staring at that picture now, all I saw were strangers. Daniel Adams wasn't a monster in the obvious ways. He didn't yell, didn't hit. But he controlled things with surgical precision, like a puppeteer pulling invisible strings. Cold, calculated, always aware of the effect his presence had on people. He didn't need to raise his voice. A single look was enough. And I, Grace Adams, had become part of the background. His wife of 19 years. An accessory. I used to believe that raising 3 children together, surviving layoffs, and buying a home meant we were true partners. But somewhere along the way, I stopped existing as a person. I became a role, the good mother, the perfect wife, the quiet enabler. It hadn't always been this way. Daniel had once been warm. He made burnt pancakes on Sunday mornings, laughed at documentaries, whispered silly stories into my hair at night. But after he was promoted to regional director of a pharmaceutical logistics company, everything changed. He became strategic. Every interaction felt like a negotiation. He said the Thursday business trips were essential. Regional oversight, sales visits, team morale. I believed him. I even welcomed the space. Those Thursdays became my sanctuary. Wine with friends, silence in the house, a chance to breathe. One Thursday night, I wore a silk blouse. Not for Daniel, for myself. Because it made me feel like the woman I used to be. Feminine, alive. He came home early that evening. His eyes swept over me slowly, appraising. Interviews go well? I asked, my voice flat. Scheduled for Monday, he replied with a neutral smile. Everything's lined up. We made small talk. Ate dinner like coworkers. Watched television without really watching. Went to bed without touching. 2 weeks ago, during a forced family getaway to Nashville, something Daniel arranged purely for appearances, something inside me broke. We visited the Grand Ole Opry, took smiling photos, and ate at Lambert's Cafe, where they threw dinner rolls across the room like it was magic. The kids loved it. I smiled because I had to. Daniel sat stone-faced the entire time. On the drive home, I turned off the music. Daniel, I said, gripping the steering wheel, have you ever thought about cheating? He didn't react at first. Just stared out the window. Why do you ask? Because we're not really married anymore. We're roommates, co-owners of a house. Maybe something radical could shake things up. He turned to me, his eyes cold. That's an odd thing to suggest. Maybe. Or maybe it's the only honest thing I've said all year. If that's something you truly feel you need, he said calmly, you have my blessing. And that's when I knew he wasn't shocked. He was ready. He may have even been orchestrating it. When we got home, I kissed the kids goodnight and went straight to bed. My heart was pounding, not from guilt, but from suspicion. The next day, everything unraveled. Daniel left early, claiming he was helping his father fix a fence. A lie so weak even our children didn't believe it. But I let it go. I always did. By noon, my phone rang. It was his mother. Her voice was trembling. We need to talk. It's about April. A chill ran through me. She explained that the genealogy kit we'd done last Christmas, just for fun, had returned unexpected results. A woman had reached out, claiming to be April's grandmother, but not from my side. Or Daniel's. Her son, she said, was April's biological father. Luke Barrow. My boss. Respected. Charismatic. Married. The man I had once confided in during Daniel's long absences. Nothing physical had happened, or at least I thought so. There had been nights of drinks, whispered conversations, but no intimacy. Or had there? That night I called him. He answered on the third ring, his voice steady. "Grace," he said. "I've been expecting your call." The world tilted. But the real story hadn't even started. Across the street, behind tinted windows, I watched her every Thursday. Dinner with Luke, then his house, then lights out around midnight. I didn't react. Outwardly. Cheryl's husband, a quiet tech wizard, helped me set up cameras, trackers, and discreet audio devices. Every move recorded. Every lie documented. I built a case, not for court, but for control. One afternoon, my assistant Kathy came in carrying a manila envelope. "Sir," she said hesitantly, "you need to see this." Inside were scanned photographs. Grace and Luke at a Christmas party at a gala, kissing behind a curtain. Dated before we were even married. This wasn't new. It was a continuation. I had married a woman who was never truly mine. The next day, I called Luke. "Mr. Barrow," I said. "It's Edward Adams. I believe we need to talk." We met at a quiet, forgettable bar on the edge of town. "I know about you and Grace," I said. "I know about April. Most important truth of all. Some people aren't meant to be fought for. They're meant to be let go. Because once the mask slips, there's no going back."